Hello, everyone. Day 5, the final day of the brain, the 12th step toward riches. In Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, we discussed all week the 4 lessons previous that we touched on of this chapter, the brain. And I just wanted to kind of bring it to a close with understanding the power that the brain is. All the food that we eat, the nourishment, this machine up here takes the majority because it's the thing up here that runs the show. Our brain is powerful. And just a side note, brain power food, healthy fats, avocados, fish, omega-3s, stuff like that. It's always good to look into the powerful foods and stuff that we can proactively put for optimal brain health. Jim Quick, he has that new book, Limitless. He's wonderful, and it talks about the brain, the power of the brain. It's wonderful. And Napoleon Hill gave us wonderful nuggets all week about the brain and the power of the brain and the untapped potential and the unseen forces that are at work with the brain and how much we'll discover. I was taking some notes for a program that I do, and this just stood out, so I would like to leave our brain lesson with this. The brain is an electronic switching station. Every single cell has a positive and negative pole. We talked about the positive and negative emotions. That's the law of polarity, just like a battery. Think of this brain as a battery, Duracell. There's a positive and negative charge. So every single cell in our body has a positive and negative charge. Every molecule, all the atoms. You remember the depictions of the, neurons, the nucleus, the atoms, the cells. There's a positive and a negative charge to every single cell. So the brain is an electronic switching station. Every cell has a positive and a negative pole. Every thought, the way we think, activates either the negative or the positive in our cells. Unfortunately, some of us have been programmed with just negative things. Negative things occur, especially when we were kids. Just the programming was always negative. So that's the pole that we go to. That's the pole that we're programmed with. And I would say the world in general, anxiety and fear. We're programmed to focus on the negative aspects of things. And remember, we're not talking about circumstances because bad things do happen. It's how we react to them. For example, people always go to the negatives. Like, what about when people die? That's a tragedy. That's horrible. What's the positive in that? Well, we can't look at that situation particularly. How I'm going to feel about that, either I can go and react negatively, go hit the bottle, go get blitzed, drunk, go drive off, run into something, go start a fight, go, try to express my anger, grief, frustration in a negative way, or in a positive way, gathering with family, resting, clinging to my positive coping skills. That's the way I will express. I'm only in charge of how I will express and activate through my thoughts. And that's a whole nother topic, death. That's probably the ultimate fear of everybody, right? Everyone's going to die. Prognosis is 100%. We're all going to die. I'm going to die. And it's about having a positive relationship with it, because when death hits, and this week I know 2 people that have dealt with this, and it makes me think, I knew these people, and it makes my thought like, what's the point? Oh my gosh. But then I think, this happens to everybody every single day. We're not exempt. We're not special. We're not safe. It's a reality, and it's how we deal with it, how we choose to deal with it. In our toolkit, getting the positive coping skills. And I'm using death in general. I know it's morbid and it's scary, but that's probably the worst thing that we all fear. Death of us dying, death of our loved ones, even of our pets. That's like the most, it hits home for everybody. Hello. Anyways, that's just an example. But, so it's not the circumstances, it's what we do with the circumstances, how we react. We are only responsible and complete control of our thoughts and our reaction, not the things particularly that always happen to us, but how we deal with them, we're in control of. Anyways, so every thought activates a negative or a positive pull that sets in motion either a negative or positive vibration. For example, a negative cognition, especially in children. And I remember, I think I was 12 or 13 when there was like maybe 11 when a tragedy hit. This kid that I used to know died in a car crash. And it was just so like, that was jarring. It was my first like taste of tragedy and death to like a young person that I knew. And it really put me on a tailspin of like, what? That can happen? I thought just like grandparents and old people died. But just knowing that I could either think, oh my gosh, all kids die, tragedy is just around the corner, negative activation, or, oh my goodness, this is a part of life, accidents happen, it sucks, it's tragic, I'm just devastated, I'm grieving, but I will heal. Positive activation. It doesn't take away the grief and the negative feelings. They're there, they're true. We honor them, but don't use those as diving boards into a dark abyss. That's why it's good to have positive coping skills. So yeah, the brain is the electronic switching station. Every cell has a negative and a positive pole. Every thought we think activates either the negative or the positive pole. It sets up our vibration. It sets up our mood. It sets up our vibe, our emotions, our feelings. Remember, emotions are just energy flowing through our body. Our brain is an electronic switching station. I hope you all enjoyed this week of the brain. Next week will be 5 days of the last and 13th principle. It's the sixth sense. I'm excited to start it. And remember, Motivational March. Ooh, I have the dates and I'll email you. Let's see. We got March. It's going to be on Thursdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. March 4th, 11th, 18th, and 25th. Thursdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Email me, message me your email. Message me your email and I'll put you on the list. It's going to be a fun, small, intimate group of mindfulness and mindset. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll see y'all next week.